What it is, what it was, and what it shall be. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, aka Master Teacher 33, and today is Monday, Moon Day, I think. Let me double check. Yep, Monday, July the 27th, of 2020, and the time is 12:30, a little after 12:30 Central Time. As always, my brothers, as always, my sisters, we have another powerful message scheduled for you today. As you know, I like to get right into the meat of the message. I know your time is valuable. I respect you, and I respect your time. And I do not want to waste your time. I want to spend as much time revealing, explaining, illuminating, and simplifying the word of God, the word of Yahuwah and his son Yahushua. So today, my brothers, today must have got a powerful message. Today we want to break down this ideal of what we call social influencing. We all are social influencers, but the word social is code for the word spiritual. Let me say that again. The word social is actually code for the word spiritual. So we are really spiritual influencers. So when we talk about social distancing, we're talking about spiritual distancing. Let me say it again. When we're really talking about social distancing, what they are really saying is, I need you guys to be spiritually distant. So social distancing is really spiritual distancing because there's powers in numbers. They know that, Dr. Martinette, but most of us don't. So most of us are not aware of our power that comes from unity. So, Brother Donnie, we're not aware that there's power in numbers. So, Sister Pam, that's why everybody is falling for the rope-a-dope. So all these reverends, doctors, and bishops, most of you guys listening to me today, you have fallen. You've been bamboozled once again. And the way that you've been bamboozled is because you actually believe the lie. Now, it's not your fault. You have been bombarded with frequencies. So remember, repetition makes you a good reptilian. So in order for you to be a good reptilian, I have to do something called repetition. So repetition makes you a good reptilian. So I keep saying over and over again, social, which is code for spiritual. Social, which is code for spiritual. Social, which is code for spiritual. So this is a social media platform. This means spiritual medium platform. Let me say it again. Social media is spiritual medium. Social media is a spiritual medium. Now, again, this is above most people's pay grade. I understand. Most people have difficulty over, and understand the depth of the statements that I'm about to make. This happens all the time. But it's very important in order for you to shine. Because in order for you to experience and to connect with source, you got to get past, again, this vocalization. So the current vocalization is designed, again, to create a construct, and it's doing a very good job. So, Mrs. Alvin, social media is spiritual medium. When we talk about a social influencer, we all are social influencers. A social influencer is a spiritual influencer. And Mrs. Alvin, when we talk about social distancing, we're really talking about spiritual distancing. So, Sister Diane, do you have a social platform? Because, Sister Diane, if you don't have a social platform, you don't have a spiritual platform. So, Sister Shayla, do you have a social media platform? Sister Shayla? Sister Shayla, do you have a spiritual medium platform? That's what social media means. It's a spiritual medium. So there's a spiritual methodology or medium of exchange. But if we do not over and understand, Sister Pam, then we're going to get bamboozled. So, Brother Donnie, most people are bamboozled. That's why most people are practicing social distancing, because Sister Jayla, they don't know that social distancing is really spiritual distancing. So social is a code word for spiritual. So today I need to talk to you very briefly upon how to establish your own social, aka spiritual platform. Because what is missing today is, Sister Jayla, most of us don't have a spiritual platform. So, Sister Jayla, what I done for myself is I created my own social circle of influence. So, Sister Jayla, I have a circle of influence. So, Sister Jayla, I am a social influencer. But the word social is code, Sister Jayla, for spiritual. So I am really a spiritual influencer. So, Sister Shayla, if you're not a spiritual influencer in the coming age, it's going to be difficult for you to be a single standing column or spiritual, which means social, sufficient. That's why we have all of these programs. So, Brother Joseph, the programs are designed to program us. That's why we have these programs. So either you are going to watch someone else or you're going to be source or self. So, Sister Jayla, we have a conundrum, Sister Jayla, because they don't teach this at Ebenezer Baptist. Turn my light here. So I'm here to assist everybody. Now, I've already talked about the social media, spiritual media acceleration program where you get to work with me, mano y mano, 101, to develop your own spiritual platform because you are a spiritual consultant and you have spiritual influence. But they conned you and me, and they got us to buy into social instead of spiritual. So I'm here to reverse the script. I'm here to replace error with truth. That is my destiny. That's my diaconia, Sister Jayla. I'm here to assist everybody who would like that assistance at establishing their own spiritual platform. Everybody, you must have your own spiritual platform. Let me say it again. Everybody must have your own spiritual platform. Let me say it again. Everybody must have your own spiritual platform. That means you must have a circle of influence. In today meaning a couple of years from now, in today's environment, you have to have your own social media platform, your own spiritual medium of exchange. Everybody must have their own spiritual medium of exchange. One more time, everybody must. You must have your own spiritual medium of exchange. Now, a spiritual medium of exchange is the way that you get information in form nations directly from source. So right now you're getting your information from somebody outside of the self or the source. Primarily, most of us, we get our information from outside of ourself. Why? We don't believe in ourself. So we look to someone else. So, Sister Jayla, everybody has the same conundrum. We look to Elon Musk. We look to Joel Osteen. We look to Creflo Dollar. We look to Benny Hinn. We look to some guru outside of the self. Because we don't have love. We don't have confidence. We don't have those 7 C's that I have up here on my chart. Those 7 C's are in someone else. So the reason why I can do a reality show and people will watch me live my life instead of them living their own. So there's a lot of people, Dr. Martinet, who watch the Kardashians. And Dr. Martinet, they would rather watch the Kardashians live their life instead of watching themselves live their own life, because the Kardashians' life is more exciting than their own. because they're not, and they have no spiritual medium of exchange. They're not spiritual influencers. They have no spiritual platform. They have no spiritual depth. Since they are devoid of source, they are devoid of self. So when I see someone who has no or low self esteem, Sister Ellen, I see someone who has no or low source esteem. So self esteem is source esteem. Self worth is source worth. Self love is source love. So every time I see the word self, Mrs. Alvin, I take it out and I put in the word source. And if you do not believe in source, self, more than you believe in someone else, you must tune into someone else. And you will watch someone else live their life. And then you wake up and you're going to be 60, 70, 80 years old. And you're going to wonder what happened to your life because you were so busy watching someone else, you forgot to be yourself. So many people are so busy watching Love and Hip Hop and the Basketball Wives, they forget to write their own script because they're listening and watching someone else's script. Now, if you can understand that there is a social code, which is a spiritual code. That is your codex. That's your codon. That turns you on. That turns your DNA on. So everybody has that. But we are too busy watching somebody else's. So we will watch somebody else's YouTube channel, but we will not produce our own YouTube channel. Many of you today will watch somebody else's TikTok video, but you won't make your own TikTok video. There's a lot of people on today's show, that will read someone else's book, but they will not write their own book. There are a lot of people looking at me right now on Facebook Live and YouTube and Instagram, but you will not do your own Facebook Live, YouTube, or Instagram. So whenever you are devoid of self, you always have to go to someone else. So my goal is to assist you with understanding the significance of you, because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are an individual expression of source on earth. You have the God stuff. You are a generator, Sister Jayla. You are an operator, Mrs. Alvin. And you are a director, Dr. Martinet. And it's extremely important, Sister Dolly, that we all over and understand that the word social is a trick to get you to put down the word spiritual and pick up the word social. And the moment that they can trick you, you stop being you. So, Sister Jayla, there's only one Jayla Bowman. One. You're the only one. So, Sister Jayla, I don't want to talk to, look at, or read about another one if you're the one. I want to talk to the original Jayla Bowman. So, Sister Jayla, the universe is waiting on you to express, expose, and expand you. Because your intelligence, your life experiences, your knowledge, your fingerprint, Sister Jayla, nobody else got it. So if I want to know anything about Jayla Bowman, I cannot go to someone else. I have to go directly to self, source. So Sister Jayla, you have the sauce. You are the only one. There is no other Jayla Bowman on the planet. So everybody has been tricked. Everybody has been bamboozled. And no one has or very few have established their own spiritual platform, because most people don't know that the word social has replaced the word spiritual. And because we don't really over, and understand our platform, we don't know how to perform. The platform allows us to perform what is informed, but we need that platform. Now, this is extremely important because social media is code for spiritual media. Social distancing is code for spiritual distancing. That's why that's why everybody on this call, you feel right now, if you're honest with yourself, you feel a little less, I'm going to use the word amped up than usual. Why? Because we feed off each other's energy. We have the ability to connect with each other regardless of where we are at physically. So social media is spiritual media. Social influencer is a spiritual influencer. Social distancing is spiritual distancing. So it's a trick. So you are no longer able to establish your own social influencer platform, because a social influencer is somebody who understands, why do they call it Instagram? Because they understand instant and they understand the word grammar. So Instagram is a platform for social influencers, but Instagram is not a platform for social influencers. Instant grammar is Gramoria. It's Grammatus. It is actually a performance of information. It's a way to pull out or trick you into settling for social instead of spiritual, because the word social is code for the word spiritual. So Instagram is a platform for spiritual influencers to do what? To express, expose, and expand their God-given destiny. So what we should be talking about is not what we're talking about. We should not be talking about the Kardashians. We shouldn't be talking about Love and Hip Hop. We shouldn't be talking about Fauci. We should be talking about any of those things. Everybody on this call, you should be expressing, exposing, and expanding your God-given destiny and your diakonia on every social, spiritual platform. Because the platform is where you perform. Let me say it again. No platform, no perform. And your rewards in life equals your performance in life. The inability to perform in life is the inability to receive the rewards from your own life. So God has given you everything that you need for life and godliness, but you're on a social because you don't know that it is a spiritual. So this is a spiritual medium of exchange. This is not social media. This is spiritual media. So now we got to look at, okay, what does spiritual mean? What spiritual is the most predominant thought that's in the brain. That's spiritual. And everybody on this call have been given a measure of faith. You have the gift. You have the sauce, so to speak. So spiritual must replace social. And we need spiritual unity so we can establish community. So they want spiritual distancing to neuter or to limit your power to basically come together in unity. So we got to create fractions. I got to create divisions. I got to use race and economics. The two most powerful ways to establish and to destroy spiritual connection is through a social distancing, because social means spiritual. So I need spiritual distance, because right now the universe, the sun, is sending frequencies, wave, and vibration to bring about spiritual community. So they, whoever they are, they got to put a mask. They got to get you to bring distance, and they got to use a vibranium. So they're going to use a virus to destroy your verbiage. So the virus is designed to limit the verbiage, because whatever you verbalize is what you realize. So you got a mask on. I can't read your lips. I can't see your mouth. I can barely understand the hell you're saying. All of this is designed to destroy your spiritual essence. So the word social If you don't get nothing from today's show, please write this down. The word social is actually the word spiritual. So every time you see anything they're talking about, anything that has to do with anything that has to do with anything that has to do with social, social is spiritual. So when we look at the marketing, we look at social media marketing. So now we're talking about spiritual media, which is medium. Marketing is a marker. So there is a marker that establishes a medium of exchange for your spirituality. That's what social media marketing is. So I've written many books on metaphysical marketing. I've been using metaphysical marketing for the last 30 years. And the way that I connect with everybody, and everybody knows this, although I learn it, I paid a guy, again, I told you guys a couple of days ago, weeks ago, $1,000 an hour to learn social media marketing, to develop an algorithm, because I need to understand how the enemy plays the game. Because I wrote the script for the game. I want to rewrite the script for the game so I understand how they play the game. So they play the game by getting everybody to go along according to the same rhythm. It's called an algorithm. All go to the same rhythm. So Facebook, Instagram, everybody. That's why they're collecting data right now. Now the new algorithm is going to be your biology. They are collecting biological, and they are designing a biological internet right now. It's a quantum internet, in fact, to use things that can't be changed. What is that? You can't change your iris in your eyes. You can't change your fingerprint. You can, but it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of money. So they are using these biomarkers. So the new markers is marketing. So the new marketing, where I'm at, I'm already there. I'm already using biomarkers to do my marketing. So my biology is controlled by my theology. And my theology is controlled by my cosmology. They're not teaching that yet. I'm already there. Now I'm already teaching it. But again, Sister Jayla, most people they don't get it. It's again, they don't teach this shit at Ebenezer Baptist. So while everybody else is talking about social media, love and hip hop, the basketball wise, COVID-19, sports, Sister Jayla, I'm talking about how my cosmology is affecting my theology, and how my theology is changing my biomarkers, my biology. So I'm going to change my biomarkers. I'm already doing it, by the way. So I can connect with everybody on this call. The reason that you're on this call is because of my spiritual interconnections with you. So we are spiritually interconnected, not socially. So social is a dumbed down term to keep you trapped into whatever you vocalize, you realize. So I don't want a vocal nor verb, social. So I want a vocal and verb, spiritual. And I want to understand what that means. What does it mean? That means that everybody who has the same group of related thought, I'm calling you. How am I calling you though? I'm calling you using my spirituality. So I'm sending out a frequency. I'm sending out a wave. I'm sending out a vibration. So that way we can all connect to source. So everybody who is on the same frequency, neurons that fire together, wire together, biologically proven. So I can vibe. So I know, even though I may not have met Sister Dolly, I can vibe with Sister Dolly. I've never met Sister Jayla, but I can vibe with Sister Jayla because we're on the same spiritual frequency. We're not here to socialize. We're here to spiritualize. So me and Jayla and everybody else on this call, we're doing something that other people are not doing. We have established, we're spiritualizing. We ain't socializing. Because we got a higher frequency. We got a higher wave. We got a higher vibration. So people will not be able to understand our spiritual connection because they are not tapped into our reflection. So you are my reflection and I am your reflection because of our connection. If there is no connection, there can be no reflection. You are my reflection. That means everybody in your life is the exact copy of your intellection or your intellect, your spirituality. So if you want to change your circle of influence, you change your circle, your kirka, your life optimization circle. So my circle of friends is identical to my circle of influence, which is identical to my life optimization circle. It's all a circle. It's one big circle. So I draw people into my life that matches my circle of influence, that matches my spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not social. Because I know that the word social distancing means spiritual distancing. I know that their plan is to make sure that we don't spiritually connect. They want us to be afraid of our spirituality that comes from God's mentality. So each and every one of us have to stop watching other people. Why? The more you look outside of the self, the more you reflect someone else. Let me say that again. The more that you look outside of yourself. Now, I could go home, or I could turn off the show. I can turn on my television. Tele means to transport. Vision means a mental picture that is, and tune into a specific program. Program means to rewire my grammar. I can tune into instant rewiring of my grammar. It's called Instagram. And I can pick up my phone. But it's not spelled Phone. It's spelled Phoneme. Phone. I can pick up my phone. And this is phonology. And this phone changes my tone. Yeah, but it's not playing. This phone will change my tone. And I can watch. And I can instantly change my grammar using Instagrams. It's called Instagram. And then I will no longer oscillate and vibrate according to my frequency. I've just been regened. Now, my frequency, my wave, and my vibration is part of this socialization. And this becomes a clever marketing campaign called an all go to the same rhythm. So everybody is going to the same rhythm. Nobody is an individual expression of source. We're all part of this collective hive mind mentality that is a low vibration of Lucifer. It's extremely, extremely, extremely important, brothers and sisters, because remember, if you don't be yourself, you got to look at someone else. I can always tell someone who don't know themselves, because all they do, they got their cell phone like this. And what are they doing? They're looking at someone else. Why? If the inside voice is not louder than the outside, this outside distraction, if there is no inside, if there's no inner monologue, then this external dialogue, they're going to get you. And you're going to watch. How many people watch sports instead of going outside and play it? How many people watch Love and Hip Hop? How many people watch World Star Hip Hop? How many people watch TikTok? We spend a lot of time watching someone else instead of being ourselves. That's how they have destroyed the spiritual influence on this planet. There are very few spiritual warriors. There's very few spiritual assassins. There's very, very few ambassadors of source, because we are so busy watching the Kardashians and wanting to be Kanye West. We want to be Jay-Z. We want to be 50. We want to be someone else because we don't have love of ourselves. The reason we want to be someone else is because we don't love ourselves. But the reason that we don't love ourselves is because we don't see ourselves. And the reason that we don't see ourselves is because we don't see our source. And the reason that we don't see our source is because source has been diluted and has been removed and has been replaced by clever marketing campaigns, by algorithms, by multi-level marketing, and by all of the other ways to get your attention, because attention is not free. Energy flows where attention goes. So you're giving all of your attention to someone else, and you're wondering why you cannot be yourself. You cannot be yourself if you're giving your attention to someone else. Now, this happens a lot, especially in marriages. Women will get married, they give all their attention to their man, and then they lose their identity. Being a 20-year marriage, and then they end up getting a divorce, and then they don't know who they are. They're lost. Why? When they got married, they stopped being, beaming, and bonding with themselves. Never exchange social for spiritual. Remember, the word social is code for the word spiritual. There is no such thing as social media, but there is such a thing as spiritual media. And you have been bamboozled. You can write it down this day, July the 27th. If you do not turn your attention to yourself, which is your source, and if you do not get your informations, your information from yourself, you will live your entire life being someone else. Brothers and sisters, it's a travesty. Dare to be you, or you're going to die a copy. Be original, or die a copy. Get your information from yourself, from your source. Now, I'm not saying you don't do no research. I'm not saying you go into no cave and be in all this other crap. That's not what I'm saying. Get all the research. The Bible says that there's a lot of wisdom. There's wisdom in a multitude of elders. I'm there to say, do your research, man. Call Uncle Bob, Aunt Sue, Cousin Jimmy, get your nephew, everybody. Talk to as many people as you want. Watch books, watch all of that. But when it's time to express yourself, make sure you're getting your information from yourself, because yourself is your source. Source is inside of you, operating as you. Source love, self-love is the best love. What is missing today is social distancing, because social distancing is spiritual distancing. We are all spiritual distancing, so we can't connect. What I've done is I destroyed social distancing before they even came out with it. I built an organization of like-minded people seeking the deeper aspects of life and godliness. That's in a book that I wrote 20 years ago, J Money. before any of this shit even started happening. Because my gut, my heart, and my head told me to. All my information comes from my gut, my heart, and my head. So it's real easy for me to love you, regardless of what you do, because my love for you doesn't come from you. My love for you comes from my gut, comes from my heart, comes from my head. That means there is no outside distractions that overrides my inside interactions. So regardless of the outside distractions, it doesn't affect the inside reactions. So brothers and sisters, this is very, very important. Short show today for you. I mean, for me, anytime I can do a show under an hour, that's y'all know. I usually go 2-3 hours. Today's message is one of the most profound messages. If you came in late, make sure you go back and listen to what I said at the first 5 minutes of today's show. Today's show is paramount because right now, and I shouldn't tell you, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. You have your body is being coded right now. Biometrics is here. Can't talk too much on it on this platform right now, but biometrics, Google it, research it. I'll be breaking it down in 2020 Total Awareness. Tonight we start. And remember, if you did not join the 2020 Total Awareness in August of last year, that's when it started. We took a break. There are some people who think that they're members of the 2020 Total Awareness because they paid $100. That program was $5,000. Now I made a mistake and included that program in the Mayflower special, but that's my mistake. So everybody that joined the Mayflower special, you guys are included in the 20. That was not supposed to be. That was a error on my part. But tonight we continue because I have to reveal, explain, illuminate, and simplify. When the Bible talks about, what happens when light enters into the eye? All of this is part of you establishing you. What does that simply mean? What I said at the beginning of today's show. At the beginning of today's show, we started off talking about something that's very, very profound, and that is you have to have your own platform. So when stuff goes digital, when they can put your wealth in a blockchain and they can trace every interaction and transaction using your biometrics, you have to have a connection that cannot be traced by technology or by digitology. That's spirituality. You have to have a spiritual platform. You have to have a spiritual circle of influence that is not done using technology. It's done by using spirituality. You have to be spiritual. Spirituality is the new mentality. Without that, then you're not going to have what is called a circle of influence. That means that your income can be affected by clever marketing campaign. Your income can be affected by COVID-19. Your health, your income, your mental disposition can be affected by outside demonstration because of a lack of internal revelation. So the word social influence means spiritual. Anytime you see the word social, just take it out and put in the word spiritual. So you do need a social media platform, but it's a spiritual medium perform. So the way that you perform is to understand the medium that allows you to be spiritual. And the way that you be spiritual is to be self, because the self is the source. Very, very, very important, because nanobots, Sister Jada just said everything is going to robotics. So all of these nanobots, robots, all of this stuff is designed to interfere with your shine. Just like in the movie Dr. Sleep. You have to understand how to establish your own social media platform, which means you have to understand how to have a spiritual interaction with your God-given design. So your social media platform is your spiritual medium that allows you to perform. Social media platform or a spiritual medium that allows you to perform. A spiritual medium that allows you to perform. That means to produce. Your rewards in this life equals your service to others. No service, no rewards. So your rewards, your finances, your money, your health shouldn't be affected by outside demonstration, even though it is, because many of us have not established this medium of exchange yet. That's the purpose of the acceleration school. That's the purpose of, for the people who need more instruction. For the people who don't need no instruction, you want to go straight to source. You want to no fluff, the acceleration program. That's what you just work with me one-on-one. No group, nothing, just me and you. For everybody else, we got the Master Teacher 33 University be rolling out early September, middle September. Why? The word medium, it means the middle state. The word medium, it actually means the ability for you to take something from one place to another. It is the intervening, something that allows you, it is the interconnecting. So it's like the word middle. So medium is a very, very important word because it's like the word mid or the word pyramid or pyramid. So mid, M-I-D, mid. Is mid, it means the middle point, but it's something that occupies, it's a position that is in between two positions. So you got to control that position. You got to control that center of excellence. So they're trying to control it by social distancing, because the word social, again, is code for the word spiritual. So social distancing is really spiritual distancing. So we want to make sure that we control that medium. We control that. How do we control it? We control that with our spirituality. And that means our mentality. So you got to have a strong medium. You have to have a strong medium of exchange. You have to be strong. We talked about that a couple of days ago, where the Bible talks about stand and having done all stand. Simply speaking, brothers and sisters, you have to have your own social media platform. But that phrase is code. You have to have your own social media platform. That's what I'm helping you establish. And that word social media platform is a spiritual medium, so that way you can always perform at the highest possible level. Their job is to get you to operate. How? Change your vocalization. How? Change your verbalization. How? Change your mental. How? Change your magnetic. You are an electrical magnetic being. Sodium and potassium pump. Their job is to change that by changing your biomarkers. Markers is code for marketing. So they're using they're going to market to you using your biology. Your job is to understand the game. So I teach that. So that way, again, you 5 years ahead of the curve. So no matter what they do, it doesn't affect you. So we're not worrying what they do. Outside demonstration doesn't affect inside revelation, because the kingdom of God is within. So brothers and sisters, we start again, getting back to the 2020 total awareness. Remember, if you don't know, just email me and I will check and see if you are a paid, because there was a lot of confusion on the 2020 total awareness. Remember, 2020 total awareness, we started that back in August of 2019. We just took a little break. So class, we'll pick it up again tonight. We'll be breaking down the next book of the 30 books. This is book number, I think it's 9 or 10, which is Death Where Is Your Sting. We start that tonight at 7 p.m. If you're not sure if you are a member of the 2020 Total Awareness, just email me. I'll check my records and see if you have paid. Again, just go to the website for more information. 2020 Total Awareness. 2020totalawareness.com is the website. 2020 Total Awareness. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank God for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on today's show. As always, my brothers, as always, my sisters, I'm at the top, grinding and shining. Come join me. God bless.